Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Gun attacks in Olympic Gardens leave 3 dead, several injured. 3 men are dead and several others injured following 2 separate gun attacks in Olympic Gardens on Tuesday. In the first shooting, which occurred at about 5 p.m., masked men on a motorcycle shot 3 people in the intersection of Balcombe Drive and Welcome Avenue. 2 of those victims have since succumbed to their injuries. A group of men were sitting in a shop on Welcome Avenue when a group of men drove up on a motorcycle. It is reported that several explosions were heard. At the end of the explosions, 3 men were found suffering from gunshot wounds. The men were subsequently taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, where 2 of them have since succumbed to their injuries. The 3rd man at this stage is in operating theatre and being treated, said Coleridge Minto, Deputy Superintendent, St. Andrew South. Reporters understand that while police personnel were still processing the crime scene, gunmen launched another attack in the community, this time on McDonald's Place. Reports are that the armed men drove up in a motor car and opened gunfire at a group of people. 3 were shot in that incident. 1 person is believed to have died as a result of their injuries. However, this has not been confirmed. The identities of the victims are not yet known. No motives has been established for the shooting. Investigations into both incidents are ongoing. Drive-by shooting in Arnett Gardens leave 2 hospitalized. 2 men are now nursing gunshot wounds following a drive-by shooting on West Road in Arnett Gardens on Tuesday afternoon. According to reports, a group of men were sitting on the roadside when armed men traveling in a car drove up and opened gunfire at them. The victims were taken to the hospital, where they were admitted in serious condition. Investigations into the matter are ongoing, as the motive for the shooting is yet to be established. Female victim in Maxfield Avenue shooting identified. The police have identified the woman who was shot dead at her home near Maxfield Avenue on Tuesday afternoon. She is 33-year-old Tashana Joseph. According to reports, residents heard explosions and summoned the police. Upon the arrival of the lawmen, Joseph was found in a pool of blood with gunshot wounds to the head. While a motive for the killing is yet to be established, police say they are following strong leads. Majority of school vacancies filled, says Williams. As the new school year gets underway, Education Minister Favor Williams is reiterating that the majority of vacancies in the island schools have been filled or are in the process of being filled. Speaking in her back-to-school message last evening, Mrs. Williams noted that the ministry is in constant contact with schools ensuring that the vacancies are filled.
Yes, there have been resignations of some teachers at the start of this new school year. However, many of our schools have reported that they have filled the vacancies or are wrapping up on interviews. We will continue to work with our school boards and principals. We would have communicated many strategies to use, including engaging our retired teachers, especially for those hard-to-fill areas such as geography, history, physics, and other subject areas. As you know, 1,877 teachers are off on vacation leave, retirement, or study leave as of September 1, 2022. Our principals have approval to hire back these teachers who will be compensated into the positions. We're also encouraging teachers who are in schools with excess teachers to apply for voluntary relocation to a school in need of teachers. Our regional directors can provide the details of that program. Entering this school year, 8,469 teachers, representing 95% of teachers in our primary schools, have laptops. Our focus now is on providing similar laptops for teachers in our high schools as we seek to encourage the use of technology as an important contributor to the teaching and learning experience. Our efforts to have all our schools equipped with adequate internet connectivity are underway, and already many of our schools have been connected. The focus will be on implementing the recommendations of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission. As you know, if we don't implement the recommendations, we cannot expect to see different results. We're not unmindful, however, of the significant strides that have been made in the education sector. We're celebrating 60 years as an independent nation, and we at the Ministry of Education and Youth believe that notwithstanding challenges, We've made notable progress over the many decades, and this should be appreciated. The current debate is rightly focused on where it should be, on the quality of education, and how can we get more of our students performing at a higher level.
Losing faith in 119. Police urge public to make official report following multiple social media complaints about poor emergency hotline service. At age 40, Andrew Gillens has given up on calling police emergency lines. He took the decision 3 years ago after he tried calling 119 for the first time to report that thieves were breaking into the neighbor's car outside his gate in Pembroke Hall, St. Andrew. Except for the car that was ultimately stolen, his effort went nowhere, ending in a whirlwind of questions from the 119 operator, who later advised him to call his local police in Duane Park to report the crime. That too did not end well. Watching from his bedroom window as the criminals frantically tried to enter and started the vehicle about midnight that fateful day, Gillens said, on the instruction from the emergency operator, he tried calling Duane Park police, but no one answered the phone. So I just hung up the phone and went to my bed. What was I supposed to do? Asked Gillens. I can't go out there and try to stop them. Since then, I have never bothered to call police emergency lines, and I have several reasons to call them since that, but I just don't, he said. As I see it, it is better to have one policeman number on your phone, and if anything happens, you call him, because I don't have any faith in the 119 number. What if I didn't have any credit on my phone? What about persons who don't have any credit to call the police station in their area, or they don't even know which police stations are in the area or what number to call? 119 is toll-free and for emergency, so I don't get why the operator is telling me to call the station in my area. That experience was really surprising to me. Based on recent complaints from members of the public on social media, Gillens' case is not isolated, and the faith in the emergency system continues to wane. Around Independence Weekend last month, one social media platform was in a frenzy as Jamaicans demanded greater responsiveness for the police, and they revealed a flurry of bad experiences. Can we get a chance to what currently exists? What if you call 119, you are directed to call the local police station? Can we do this from our Jamaica 60 celebration? Please, I am begging, one user wrote. Another user said he witnessed a car accident and immediately called 119. I can't believe, said the operator tell me that she cannot tell me because the accident is not located in Kingston and I should call the police in that area. I asked if she could transfer the call and best believe the woman said no. I hung up the phone immediately. Jamaica cannot be going backwards. Mighty God, continue the post. Yet another user wrote, this is true. I called to report a crime and the operator said, I am to call the station nearest to me. I said, lady, I do not know the area. I can tell you where I am. Straight up she told me she cannot help me. I had to call my police friend for help. There needs to be a policy change and allocation of resources, proper call center system, and people to man the line. The officer in charge of the station must be held account when phones go unanswered. Very simple things that just take will do this, another user responded. Senior Superintendent Gary Francis, head of Police 119 Emergency Line, said he was particularly familiar with the case of the accident that was reported, which involved the death of a child near McCook's Pen on the Old Harbour Main Road in St. Catherine. A detailed investigation was launched, he said, and it found that the caller and ultimately the person who made the post online was not being truthful. At least 2 cases were investigated this year after reaching public attention. They too, Francis said, turned out to be baseless. No call has ever been redirected, he asserted. He explained that 119 calls are answered at 4 locations across the island and that information provided is fed into a computerized system which verifies the information provided by the caller. The system is also set up to answer 119 or the universal 911. The computer then forwards the information to the officers at the command station in the crisis area, and from there, help is dispatched. Many times, agents answering the phones are outside the parish of the emergency, he said, and thus might not be familiar with the area. In such cases, they may ask for a landmark or the nearest police station in the area. The accusation on social media was false and far from the truth. Why? Because we listened to the conversation, Francis told reporters on Friday, noting that the agent followed protocols, asking detailed questions to pinpoint the location of the accident. This, he said, seemed to be frustrated to the caller, who then hung up. With the limited information that the agent got, they posted the assignment, meaning that they got enough to send it off for a unit to go there, he explained. Nobody has asked the caller to call the station. It's just that because people have freedom of speech, they just get off and talk anything on social media. He said contact was made by the particular caller, who is believed to have made the post, and that the person declined to speak to the police about their experience. At intervals, Francis admitted the phone lines may go down because of issues on the part of telecommunication service providers, but once calls are received, they are recorded and operators have no choice whether or not to answer a call. Among the major challenges to police emergency response are the proliferation of prank call and information communities, especially in rural areas that have no street names or addresses for responders to follow. The public can report incidents of unprofessional service to the supervisor for the 119 headquarters at 876-927-7778, Francis stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell